This video is about Syrinx by Claude Debussy. I will explain the most important things about the work and the composer. Claude Debussy was a French composer who lived from 1862 to 1918. He is considered one of the most important representatives of musical impressionism. He wrote his piece Syrinx in 1913, originally as music for a theater play. It is a short but significant work for solo flute. The name Syrinx refers to a nymph from Greek mythology. The story of Syrinx comes from Greek mythology. Syrinx was a nymph who was pursued by the god of shepherds, Pan. To escape him, she turned herself into a reed. Pan cut the reed and made a flute out of it, which he called Syrinx. Debussy's piece tells the story of this pursuit and transformation in music. Syrinx has a simple but effective structure. The piece lasts only about 3 minutes and consists of a single melody. Debussy uses flowing rhythms and changing keys. This creates a mysterious and dreamy atmosphere. The music is intended to depict the image of the nymph and the forest. In Syrinx, Debussy placed great emphasis on the timbre of the flute. He used the instrument to achieve special sound effects. The fluctuating rhythms and changing keys create a mystical atmosphere. Debussy wanted to paint a picture of the forest and the nymph with the music. This created a unique and impressive soundscape. Syrinx is considered an important work in the history of music. It was one of the first solo pieces for flute in the 20th century. Debussy showed how a whole story can be told with a single instrument. Many composers were inspired by Syrinx and wrote their own pieces for solo flute. It remains an integral part of the repertoire for flautists. Claude Debussy was strongly influenced by Impressionism in painting. This art movement tried to depict fleeting impressions and moods. In Syrinx, Debussy did the same by experimenting with rhythms and keys. He wanted to create an atmosphere rather than clear melodies or forms. This resulted in a work that seems like a musical painting. Syrinx is technically demanding and requires great skill from the flutist. It contains fast runs, complex rhythms, and changing keys. The flutist must have a good feel for Debussy's tone colors and moods. Only then can he convincingly tell the musical story. Despite the technical challenges, Syrinx always remains accessible and emotional. Syrinx quickly became a favorite piece for flutists. It was often played in concerts and praised by critics. Many musicians admired Debussy's ability to tell a whole story with a single instrument. Today, the piece is considered a masterpiece of solo music. It still inspires many flutists and composers. Claude Debussy died in 1918, but his influence on music is still felt today. He left behind a rich musical legacy, including Syrinx. His experiments with tone colors, rhythms, and structures inspired many composers of the 20th century. Syrinx remains an important part of his work and shows how Debussy revolutionized the music of his time.